We're watching films on the toilet, because that's what dads have to do. When the movie's unsuitable for your kids, then pretend you need a number two. If you need a break from your family or spouse, there's a lavatorial picture house. Watch Terminator 2 while you're sitting on the loo. Enjoy the whole of Rambo 4 with your trousers on the floor. We're watching films on the toilet. How about you?
I thought it was very good edit you did last episode. Very tight.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks very much.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard with what I was given. I've only got so much to work with. So yeah, I will take that compliment.
I very much enjoyed our conversation about Pic N Mix.
Yeah, that was a definite highlight, I would say.
I love talking about sweets, and I was thinking we should make it a regular item on the show.
Pic N Mix on the reg.
Yeah, I thought maybe we just pick an item for each episode and just discuss the pros and cons.
A single sweet.
Okay. I'd say that gives us this could be like a 30 episode.
Yeah, there's
item.
Loads. And there's some places have quite exotic Pic N Mix. What was it, like those coconut ones? You don't see them very often.
They look like a little mushroom.
Yeah, like a coconut mushroom. You don't see them very often, but I'd say they're slightly more exotic than a white mice. Than a white mice, for example.
When I see one of those, it's like I'll always go, "Oh, those little mushrooms."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
never
look at that.
Eat
no,
them.
Thanks. God, no. What's the first sweet we're going to discuss then? I mean, it could be either of them or.
Well, let's talk about the cube of fudge.
Okay, and now just to be clear, how big cube of fudge? Are you talking like? Because remember, Thornton's used to sell little cubes of fudge. Do you remember them?
This is very specifically the cubes of fudge in the Pic N Mix. So
slightly larger than a die?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I was on holiday in the West Country.
Yeah.
Sport for choice when it comes to fudge.
Oh, yeah. Get on. You want some fudge, my darling?
And what I've noticed is for those with the good fudge places, they sort of have a rough-hewn quality to them, whereas the cinema Pic N Mix, very straight edges.
Very straight edges.
Very straight.
And I'd say one of the issues with the fudge is that sometimes it's been left for too long.
Mm-hmm. In its defence, I like a sweet you can graze on.
Yes.
So sometimes, like if it's a foam-based sweet, you eat it, it's
You're not
gone.
going to nibble that, are you?
Whereas, no way.
You can nibble a fudge cube.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. And that's something we always say.
Yeah.
Another drawback is its heft. Very weighty item.
This is exactly what I was thinking. It does have a weight to it, and that obviously is an issue. I'd say that's one of the main things to consider.
The densest Pic N Mix item, would you say?
It is one of the densest. I'm trying to think what else. Like a cola cube would have a fairly substantial weight as well.
It would.
But I'd say a fudge cube is a little bigger. It's a little bigger. But yeah, we're in a cost of living crisis. You've got to be very careful about how much your Pic N Mix is weighing. So
let me finish with two final questions.
Wrap it up. Okay.
Just like you would a piece of fudge.
Not in a Pic N Mix, but yeah. But yeah.
No, you wouldn't. No. Would it make your essential bag? Would you always put it in your bag? Don't answer yet.
Okay, go on.
And number two, give me a rating out of 10.
All right. First answer, no, because I have had Pic N Mix fairly recently. As I said in the last episode, I spent £8 on it, and I had the choice of everything, and I didn't put fudge cubes in. So I guess it wouldn't make my essentials. I've got nothing against it, but there are others I like more. So as a Pic N Mix item, tasty, sweet, yet weighty. So I'm going to go 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
5 pick out of 10 mix.
That's a good score.
Yeah. So that's the rating system that we've just created. What pick out? What pick out?
I would give it 6 pick.
What pick out of 10?
I'd give it 6 pick out of 10 mix.
Excellent.
Yeah.
6 pick out of 10 mix. Would it make your essentials?
No, I would say it's an occasional addition.
Well, welcome to Watching Films on the Toilet, podcast, which isn't just about pick and mix, but about films as well, and toilet stuff. So yeah, we're a couple of dads who can't watch scary and violent movies with our kids because they're small and we're responsible most of the time. And so we watch them on the toilet instead, and then we chat about them, don't we?
Responsible is the right word. You just heard us talking in depth about sweets.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. When I went on holiday to the West Country, I was in a sweet shop in Lyme Regis with my daughter, and I was just like, "You've got carte blanche. You can just buy some stuff, and I'm not going to stop."
Oh, good dad. Good dad.
Actually, she was quite good. She was buying for herself and her brother, and she spent about £4.
That's pretty good.
Which doesn't go very far in this sweet shop. No. Anyway, for some reason, they had jawbreakers.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, I'm going to buy 2 jawbreakers for myself.
Yeah. Were they like flaming hot ones?
No,
the cinnamony ones? Or...
I know exactly what you mean. It wasn't them. But I got them. They're about the size of golf balls.
Yeah.
Very difficult to get them in your mouth. Very difficult.
I mean, you can get away with that as a kid, but a grown man, like, in the street trying to suck on a jawbreaker, that's...
This is the thing. When you're a kid, obviously you don't care. It's just sugar.
Yeah.
But it's a really awkward size. You can either sort of like hold it in your fingertips and sort of lick it, which doesn't look cool. Or you can put the whole thing in your mouth, which is quite painful.
But does look cool.
Anyway,
today we are going to be discussing The Expendables 2. As part of our Expendables marathon leading up to the release of the Expendables 4 next month. So yeah, we watched the Expendables last week. We flushed it down the toilet, and now we've got the Expendables 2.
First one was rubbish. This one will be good.
Yeah,
that's the tagline of the film. Yeah,
that was the tagline.
Yeah.
First of all, Eamonn, any correspondence from last episode?
Yes. Okay, dear Watching Films on the Toilet. Last week you featured a Guardian article with different points of view from myself and my stepdad about leaving the toilet seat up after I did a poo. You took issue with me saying I was triggered by my stepdad asking me to put the toilet seat down, basically implying that I was a weak-minded, woke child for not being able to deal with this. Obviously, I find this very offensive and was triggered when I heard it. Being triggered by a polite request is serious, and I deserve lots of sympathy. Here is a list of other things that I am triggered by. When I think I've picked up a Walker's Prawn cocktail grab bag, but it's actually smoky bacon. When I make eye contact with a stranger, then we both look away, and then look at each other again. When my stepdad sees me in the hallway and says, "Hello," in a high-pitched voice to avoid awkwardness. When I get off the bus at the door near the driver and have to say thank you. When I forget my bag for life. When my stepdad asks me not to take a massive shit on the living room floor. Yours sincerely, David.
All right. Oh, okay. You know what? That actually triggered me. A few of those things. So that was a letter from David. I received a letter from his mum.
Oh.
Yeah, so in the Guardian article, there was a guy called Ray who had written in because David, who you received the letter from, had been leaving the toilets lid up, and he wanted it to be put down because of the plume of poop or whatever. I've received a letter from the mum, Michelle. So I'll read that. It's weird how we both got letters about the same thing, isn't it? And see how they marry up. Dear Watching Films on the Toilet, let me tell you a thing or two about my ex-boyfriend, Ray. He lived with me and my son, David, for 2 months before I sent his ass packing back to his mum's house. Ray was obsessed with closing the toilet lid, but he was even more obsessed with writing a screenplay about a superhero called Gull, in which a man gains the abilities of a seagull when a bolt of lightning travels through the bird and the man at the same time. Having mastered control of wind and thermals, he's able to put a stop to a local fisherman/warlock who's controlling the minds of wealthy women by enchanting the expensive expensive fish they eat at high-end restaurants. I tell you this because a month after he moved in, Ray lost his job at Lewisham Council because he spent more time on his rubbish screenplay than he did helping people find council accommodation. He then turned the downstairs toilet into an office space and spent most of the day in there cold calling film producers and eating crisps. Once or twice a day he would whistle that song by Top Loader, which is when I knew he was actually using the toilet. When Ray wasn't in there, he would lock his laptop, toothbrush, and a pristine copy of Robert McKee's book Story in the cupboard. Nothing to do with plumes, he just didn't want me to see what little progress he'd made on his script. And every time David or myself tried to use the toilet, he would hammer on the door and tell us he was inspired and needed us to get out. I'd had enough. So one night when Ray was spending time with fishermen, I got David to break the lock on the bathroom cupboard and we read Ray's terrible screenplay, Gull, Part 1, whilst drinking tequila. It was a brilliant night, and when Ray got home, I told him to pack his bags and leave. So that's what really happened. I suppose he wrote the letter to get some attention and make David look bad, but he didn't even get that right. Lots of love, Michelle.
Wow.
There you go. So that was from Michelle.
Interesting. Those two stories don't quite fit together, do they?
They don't quite marry up, do they? Could they?
Wow. It seems like David is very much going along with the narrative.
What if Ray is David? He wrote that letter from David because he is just trying to get more attention because he's just a failed screenwriter who lives with his mum.
Could be. Maybe let's just say that.
Good. Okay, any toilet news, Eamonn?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Babysitter walks... This is from the Mirror.
Yeah.
The left-leaning tabloid. Babysitter walks out on job after hearing family's disgusting toilet rule.
Oh.
As a babysitter, worked for a family on and off, and then they have another kid, and they asked her to come back at the last minute to help out.
Okay.
When I was nannying, both kids were potty trained, so I never dealt with diapers with them. I show up and they start going over the baby schedule, and then they tell me they use cloth diapers, so for poops I have to scrape it off into the toilet. I told them I'm not doing that. Either use disposable diapers just for this night, or I can set the poopy ones aside and then they can clean them when they get home. I said that they should have told me this ahead of time because I would have said no. The parents told me it's just normal baby care. We started arguing, so I just left and went home and had a relaxing night. My mom said I should have just done it because they were in a bind, but I gave them options and they vetoed all of them, so I stuck to my boundary. Did you ever go down the cloth nappies route?
No, we went down the far more unenvironmentally friendly, yet far easier and less gross disposable nappies. What about you?
Oh, disposable. Here's the thing. Yes, it is damaging the planet. But then it's kind of like they're going to inherit the planet and it's their mess. So it's kind of on them to sort it out.
That is exactly right. You know, it's not our problem.
It's not my fault.
When we're dead.
No.
So...
The older I get, the more extreme my wasteful behaviour will become.
Before, you would have put the disposable nappy in the bin at least. But now, you know, there's that scene in Mad Men where they have the picnic and then just throw all the litter
he just throws it away, yeah. Yeah, I'll just leave them out for a fox to eat. That's what I would do.
I mean, okay, do you feel like she was she in the wrong?
No, I think...
No.
Apparently these parents were really in a bind. It was like a last-minute call. They really needed help. So it's like, if you want the help that badly, then just go along with the disposable nappies or just letting her set it to one side.
Exactly. Scraping that off a nappy.
No way, Jose.
No thanks.
What sort of instrument do you think they'd use? Like an offset spatula?
Oh, I thought you meant like a recorder or something. What sort of instrument?
All right. Well, a recorder would be quite good, wouldn't it? Because the one end, you can really get into the tiny little butt crack.
Let's get into this. What's the best instrument, musical instrument that you could use to clean a cloth nappy with?
Harp. If you were never going to use it again, harp would be good. Because you could just rub it back and forth.
The many strings.
The strings.
That would be good, yeah. What about you could drum it off?
Hang on, if you pulled it taut like a drum skin.
Yes, over this like a drum skin.
Yeah.
and then
and like rock out like a big solo on it.
yeah.
I mean,
then
it would spray everywhere.
It would go everywhere, but not on the nappy. Okay, so on to. I'm just stretching the cloth nappy skin over the drum.
Make it tight.
Drum roll, please.
You see, it's the only time anyone's done like a drum solo with their head completely turned away from the drum.
Eamonn, how did you watch The Expendables 2?
On the toilet.
On the toilet, and so did I. And what did you drink for me this time, so that I may do a summer wee of the film in the time it took you to a big long wee of that drink?
I drank scotch with one of those massive cigars that Sylvester Stallone starts smoking in this film, even though he doesn't look like a cigar smoker to me.
How much scotch did you drink?
4.
4 scotch.
Yeah. I've tried getting into like scotch and bourbon.
You have tried hard.
But I hate it. I think it's a stupid pretend thing. It's the same as cigars. They're not actually nice. It's just like a power thing. That's because you can't bust someone's balls in a big like merger or acquisition meeting if you've got like a bottle of Two Dogs on the go.
No, you can't.
Just it wouldn't go down well.
Yeah, you have to, or if you're vaping.
Yeah, if you're vaping or smoking like a roll-up.
Yeah, but a cigar, I mean, do you keep it in your mouth as you give him a telling off? Listen, buddy, you're fired.
I guess you would take it out, but I just think they're stupid. They're done.
Pointless. How long did the 4 scotch give me to Summerwee, the film?
1 minute and 15 seconds.
Plenty of time. This won't take long. Are we ready?
All right, go.
The Expendables are back, and this time they're joined by Liam Hemsworth, a young sniper who we learn a lot more about than any other member of the team, which almost certainly means he's going to die, and he does, when Jean-Claude Van Damme shows up and kicks a knife into his chest. He's bad, and with the help of Scott Adkins, he plans to sell some plutonium to some people who buy plutonium. But Sly doesn't like him or his plan, and with the help of his team, his Planet Hollywood co-founders, and Chuck Norris, he puts a stop to Van Damme's wicked scheme by killing so many people. And that's pretty much the end for now.
Yeah, good 35 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, that's it,
yeah,
right? That is
pretty
it.
Thin on plot.
That is it. I initially was quite excited by how this film started. I thought it kicked off much more thrilling than the first movie. The initial sequence was fun. There were these cool cars. It felt like they'd actually written some jokes.
Great, really good big explosion.
Good big explosion. We got a great bit of Jet Li actually doing like Jet Li stuff, and the way it was edited, you felt the impact of what he was doing. Sniper taking people's heads off. Yeah, a good strong opening. And then it just became the same as the other one.
Yes, and for me, I can tell you the exact moment that happened. I totally agree with everything you just said. I felt the pacing was better.
Yeah.
I felt that there was a script. It looked better. It was better directed. The minute it all fell apart is when Van Damme shows up.
Yes.
They get that computer which tells them where the plutonium is, and he kills Liam Hemsworth out of spite.
Yes.
And then leaves everyone else alone and sort of does an evil laugh and goes.
He does. I think Van Damme had a bit of a say in his character and his lines. And yeah, there was a lot of unnecessary sort of self-indulgence that I think was probably put in there by Van Damme.
I know this is make-believe and real mercenaries are not like this, but I just kind of thought, like, why would you kill one person who they all obviously have this significant emotional attachment to, and leave everyone else so they can exact their revenge? It just doesn't make any sense.
His character's name is Villan?
Yep, smart.
I quite liked the fight between him and Stallone at the end. What I liked most about that was that they didn't cut away from it to anything else. Nowadays, you've got 7 different endings going on, and you spend about 30 seconds on each one before bang, they cut away. Whereas they just stayed with Stallone and Van Damme.
I tell you what, this film really makes you appreciate how great Tom Cruise makes running look.
That's true.
When Tom Cruise runs, he looks the business. When Sly runs, he runs with his legs as wide apart as possible.
Yes. It's like he's just carrying a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Which I guess he was.
Weird, lumbering, yeah.
Yeah, and you've got, Chuck Norris, who looked very strange.
He did look really weird. Was it his overly manicured beard?
I think his beard was odd.
Well, his energy was completely out of line with everyone else's.
It was.
He was almost like, oh, hello.
Yeah, hi guys.
Yeah, no, I work by myself. Bye.
Yeah, I'm a lone wolf. And he made a joke about, the snake. The snake died because of Chuck Norris. He made a Chuck Norris joke.
So that's a Chuck Norris joke. Yeah.
And then Arnie mentioned Rambo, and it's all like, it's all just breaking the fourth wall, isn't it, really? It's like,
I would have no problem if this film went all in on that kind of thing. Like if there are loads of like knowing winks and playing up that stuff. But in a way, they did it in the worst possible way. It's just they did it very subtly once or twice.
Yeah, once or twice.
Just enough to make you feel weird about it.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah, like he said that in such a weird way. It's like like as if he was saying like, "Oh, sod you."
I don't know what their relationship's meant to be. I don't think they do either.
I absolutely love, by the way, how Arnie in that bit where Chuck Norris turns up. What he should say is like, "Who's next, Rambo?" But in a very stilted way, he goes, "Who is next, Rambo?" It sounds like...
Who is next?
Who is next? It sounds like McBain from The Simpsons. It's like saying every word.
It was Arnie at his worst.
This is Arnie. I mean, what's one down from phoning it in?
I don't know.
Texting it in? That's what he did.
Just not turning up. I'm back.
Do you want to know another interesting bit of trivia?
Yeah, I do.
Is Novak Djokovic, the tennis superstar, filmed a cameo.
In this film?
In the film, in the airport shootout, which was then cut.
Wow.
And so I looked it up online, and there's... The only thing I could find was a video of him rehearsing the scene. Yeah. And it's him chinning a load of like bad guys with a tennis racket. But he's not like... he's not wielding it like a martial artist. He's like hits one with like a forehand, one with a backhand, and then like serves like, the racket on top of someone's head.
I want to use the three main tennis moves. I want you to do those three to take out these three guys, and then that's it.
It looks dreadful. I cannot imagine, even with the best editing in the world, that they could have made that look in any way good.
But it was like they really blew their load on the first sort of 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, it just felt made up again.
As bad as the first one, yeah.
It was. Statham punches Scott Adkins into the rotor blade.
Yes.
And his like one-liner is, "Can't beat a classic."
Yes. What does that...
I don't really understand. I thought we could come up with a better one.
Okay.
So like you could have said, "Why don't you take that for a spin?"
That's good. Or what about you see crime does spray?
Ooh, that's very good. So crime does spray. What about...
It's good with Statham's voice.
You could say, "And I thought you were a cut above the rest."
Oh, that's good.
Yeah?
You could say, "Nice wheel, Catherine." He's like calling him by like a girl's name.
That's really good.
It's like a sick burn.
"Nice wheel, Catherine."
That's so stupid.
It's really good. He could have done Arnie. He could have said, "Get to the chopper."
Yes, that is what it should have been.
He could have done that.
All of those are better.
They are better.
What does he say?
"Can't beat a classic."
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Stupid.
Can't beat the classic kicking someone into a helicopter rotor blade. It's a classic, isn't it?
In a way, I suppose it's accurate in that I can't imagine muscle-bound real-life mercenaries are like really witty.
Yeah, they're probably racist.
Racist, like horrible, just really saying horrible things.
Awful people who get paid to kill people.
So in a way, like, maybe they're trying to make it realistic. Like, the jokes are
Do you
bad.
think they spent time with real mercenaries? And
I wouldn't use that joke, mate. That's too funny. We wouldn't say anything like that. Just say something racist.
Yeah.
Just call him a c***. Just call him a f***ing c***. That's what we do all the time. And you know that bit where the young lad has that conversation about his terrible time in the war zone? Everyone affords him respect. That would never happen. We would bully him for it.
Bully him.
We'd give him a right old bully up.
You watched all your teammates die and did nothing. Sort yourself out.
Oh, you slag. What are you? You soft.
You some sort of slag.
In a weird kind of like hybrid, the producers obviously thought, well, we can't use that sort of language, so we'll just use bad jokes instead.
How did you feel about Dolph in this? Was he... I mean, he was more of the same,
More
really,
of the
wasn't
same.
he?
There's no point to that character. You could take it out. It wouldn't make any difference. Same with Randy Couture.
All of them.
Yeah.
Because they don't... Like I said, Liam Hemsworth, he had a backstory.
Yeah.
We don't know anything about any of the others.
Yeah.
The mercenaries. That's it.
Well, even to the point where Maggie, like Bruce Willis, made this whole big deal of like, she is not to be her at all, not a hair on her head.
Yeah.
So I thought, because I'd forgotten completely what it was about. So it's like, I bet it's his daughter. I bet that's why he's giving so... No, just wanted to raise the stakes for drama. It's really important this person doesn't get harmed. I'm serious. He's talking, I'm really serious. Don't harm her.
Yeah,
and
why,
Sylvester's going to go like, why? Why?
Yeah, because this time there were personal stakes for Stallone, which, as you said, was the completely unnecessary and confusing killing of his new recruit by Van Damme. That was what made it personal.
Yeah.
And why do you care about this guy so much? Like, he wasn't in the last film, so he's only been expendable for a bit. What is it with Stallone and young snipers? Like in Rambo, Matthew Marsden played a young sniper.
Yeah.
Do you think it's like a fetish?
Probably.
Nothing I like more than a young sniper. The characters don't have any backstories, but you've got Dolph, who's a bit wild. I mean, I was going to try and allocate character to them, but actually there isn't any.
Well, they said
Randy Couture.
They said he's an MIT graduate and a brilliant chemist, which is true of Dolph Lundgren. He's super smart.
Terry Crews is strong. Jet Li can kick people.
His mum and dad was a chef, maybe, because he used the frying pan to chin some people.
Maybe. What would if you were an expendable, you're not going to get any kind of backstory. What's going to make you stand out?
You need to have your thing.
What are you going to do that? Yeah, what would your thing be? Like Statham's thing is knives. He throws knives. But what's yours?
Every 5 minutes, my character would double in size.
Wow. That would be cool.
Like, first time you see him, regular, bit small actually.
Yeah.
Then next time you're like, holy shit, he's much bigger now. And then you might not see me for like a little while, and then I'm like a giant. I'm like Ant-Man when he's massive. And
It would be good. It would be good content for Statham and Stallone to talk about as well.
No one ever references
they wouldn't mention it.
No, I just get exponentially bigger.
So they'd have to do the opposite. Like, good. Nothing about that you guys changed at all.
I know. And then like the end, as you see them zoom off in the aeroplane, in the background beyond, you can see like a Titanic version of me just slowly walking away.
Good to see the new guys keeping up. That would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect.
What would your thing be?
Do a little like dance every time I killed someone.
Oh, nice.
So I'd shoot, throw a knife, blah blah blah, and I'd do like a slut drop or like the worm.
Okay.
I'd do that. On the plane, I'd just always be dancing. Every time you saw me, I'd be like just dancing, ready to go. I could do like a proper, how Michael Jackson used to spin loads.
Yeah.
You could do like 3 spins.
Nice.
I'd do that. As anytime something exploded, I'd stand in front of that and just
nice
spin.
And then,
that would be pretty cool. And then,
you know where he does the a smooth criminal, like lean forward. You could do that to dodge bullets.
Yeah, I would.
Oh, we missed him.
And my name, what would my name would be Dan Chacon.
Oh. Yeah, that's a great name.
Oh, be a good name.
And would you be saying that as you fired?
Oh no!
Go on. Do it.
I just keep hearing it in my... Oh no!
Go on, please.
Oh God!
I'm both being this. I too am imagining it, and that's what's making me laugh. But I feel like I also need to hear it.
Oh no! Oh, I'm making me cry. Oh God! So when do I do it?
Do it when you're shooting.
Oh, fire a gun!
Yeah.
Dan Chacon! Just like that. Dan Chacon! Every time. Every time.
And say it when he's firing a machine gun. He'd say it repeatedly.
Dan Chacon!
Oh man! Oh, my head hurts.
Jeez Louise. Anyway, good. So, Expendables 2. We're 2 movies into this four film marathon. Would you fish it out of the bowl like...
Did you say when Chuck Norris goes fishing?
Okay, would you fish it out like Chuck Norris goes fishing? Or would you...
Yeah.
That's mental. Eamonn just fed me that line, and I think he knew. I think he might have known that I would say it, and it doesn't make any sense.
I'm
whatsoever.
delirious now after Dan Chacon. I can't think.
How about, would you fish it out like Billy the sniper's girlfriend fishes a little photograph of him out of a package of money she receives at the end, just in case she forgot who her boyfriend was? Or would you flush it away like Novak Djokovic's cameo was flushed out of the film?
Yeah, I would flush this. I think the only question is, it's flushed film, but do you think it's better or worse than the first one? Please let me know if you're going to flush it first or fish it.
I would also flush it away. Initially, I was thinking, I'm going to fish this out.
Yeah.
And then, as you said, it's really as soon as Van Damme arrives, it's like, this is all gone to hell. Some good Scott Adkins kicks, but was it better? Was it better than the? I think it was better
because of the first sort of 15 minutes.
Yeah, that
makes it better,
but not a lot better. Yeah. What about you? Did you think it was better?
I did, just for that very. The first sort of 10-15 minutes.
Yeah. But other than that...
dreadful.
Yeah. All right. Well, that means that the Expendables 2 is going into the macerating tank of despair. Okay, on to this episode's top 5. Myself and Eamonn will guess each other's top 5 choices on a particular theme. Whoever gets the most... correct answers gets to pick the next film, although it's the Expendables 3, so we won't worry about that. And whoever gets the least correct does a forfeit. Eamonn, I'll let you introduce this week's top 5.
Top 5 performance-enhancing drugs.
Obviously, Stallone got ridiculously jacked for this film, and he didn't do it alone, did he?
Absolutely not.
So, without further ado, top 5 performance-enhancing drugs.
You go first because you lost last time.
My first guess would be a duplicate. It's the human growth hormone.
100%, mate. 100%.
Yeah. I mean, that's what Stallone was all over for this, right?
The side effects include carpal tunnel syndrome, type 2 diabetes, joint and muscle pain for men, enlargement of breast tissue. and increased risk of certain cancers.
Oh, worth it.
Oh, it's 100%. That lovely big head.
100% worth it.
Love it.
Okay, your go.
Okay. Because I referenced it last time. I'm going to say Tren.
I haven't picked Tren. No. All right, I'm going to guess. I'm wondering if you've picked one of the same anabolic steroids as me. I think you might have picked a methandinone or D-bol.
Yes, I have.
Yes.
Well, is it? I've picked something called Dianabol. Is that the same?
Or D-bol. Yes. Yes. Did I get it?
Yeah. This drug can cause side effects such as decrease in testosterone and increase in appetite, insomnia and headaches, mood swings or depression, jaundice, and acne that does not disappear after stopping use. Nice.
Why did you choose that one?
I basically went
because it's called D-bol?
D-bol. Yeah, I've basically gone on the funniest side effects.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. So I got that one. Well, that's good. Oh, I'm doing well, Eamonn. You got to get this one.
Another duplicate. This is made famous by Canadian sprinter Michael Johnson. Stanozolo.
I have picked Stanozolo.
Have you actually?
Winnie.
What? Is it called Winnie?
It's Winstrol. Winstrol or Winnie.
Oh, amazing.
I like that name. So, yeah, well done.
So,
God, this is mad.
Associated side effects include menstrual irregularities, atrophy of the breasts in women, and impotence. Testicular atrophy. That's when your balls get all small.
Wow. Okay.
Right. Well, if you get this, you've won.
MDMA?
Yeah. Amphetamine.
Yeah.
I put that. Yeah, they used to increase alertness and concentration.
There are quite a few amphetamines, though. So did you just pick amphetamines in general?
I just said amphetamine, yeah.
Oh, right,
So
okay.
I'll give you that. Nice.
Hey, Danchicone. There we go. Excellent. Okay, so what was your top 5 then?
So I had amphetamines, HGH,
Yep.
D-bol, Tren, and Stanozolo. What did you have?
Tren. I had cocaine, amphetamine. I had human growth hormone. I had bromantane, which was used by a lot of Russian athletes in the 1996 Summer Olympics. Also had creatine.
Nice.
I think I know what your forfeit's going to be. You have to take all of these performance-enhancing drugs.
Nice. I've always wanted to be totally jacked.
I know. I think it's going to be really good for you. So that'll be fun. So next time we're going to watch The Expendables 3.
Yes.
Which I'm really looking forward to. And thank you for listening. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Please seek us out on the various podcast platforms. If you could give us a rating, a 5-star rating, that would be awesome. A review, subscribe. We're on the Gram, we're on the Facebook, we're on the Twitter, we're on the TikTok. We're all over the place. So please find us, like us, be friends with us. We love friends.
Yeah.
We love Tren as well. We love Tren. So all that's left is for us to thank our Patreons. What performance-enhancing drugs would our Patreons be? Mike Foster, what is he?
Amphetamines.
He's amphetamines, isn't he?
Yeah.
Gets you high.
High energy guy.
Raph?
He's like fentanyl. I know that's not performance-enhancing, but it's just dangerous.
He is dangerous. My mum. What would my mum be?
Tren? Is your mum Tren?
She's my mum's Tren.
Yeah.
My mum's Tren and my dad's Winnie.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's scant.
There's a sentence I've never said before.
Yeah.
Good. So thank you. So join us next time for more Expendables fun.
Can't wait.
And we're not enjoying these films, but we're perky. So that's good, isn't it?
It's all the trend.
Yeah, it's, we're not happy, but we're jacked on trend, so you wouldn't know.
We should make one of those like bingo games where every time in the Expendables there's like a bad joke or nonsensical like non sequitur, so you have to do like inject yourself full of Tren.
So like a drinking game but with steroids.
But with Tren, yeah.
We'd be massive by the end of it.
Oh my god, yeah, the end for each film would just be gigantic.
We'd be dead.
Yay, let's do it. We'll put the rules on Instagram.
Perfect. Eamonn?
Keep flashing.